Hi, I'm Skeet Ulrich. I play F.P. Jones, and I'm gonna attempt to catch you up on what happened in the first 3 seasons of Riverdale. Wish me luck. What is Riverdale? Riverdale is a gritty reboot of Archie comics, and you love it. Now we're gonna get into the characters. Archie is the all-American football player. Betty starts off as the innocent girl next door, but she's not that innocent.
Apologize for what you did to me!
Jughead is a brooding writer, a self-proclaimed weirdo.
I'm weird.
Who battles crime and destruction. Veronica is the rich bad girl from the city.
My mom and I just moved here.
Here are all the adults, the parents. We'll get to them later. Season 1. The big mystery of Season 1 is who killed Jason Blossom. Jason's body was found in Sweetwater River with a gunshot wound. Not good. Who's hooking up with who? Betty has a crush on Archie.
Amazing.
Yes, she does. But Archie and Veronica, they get together. Ooh, Jughead and Betty start working on a newspaper, and as you know, Bughead gets together. Okay, back to the murder of Jason Blossom. Who is suspicious? Cheryl Blossom is Jason's sister. Turns out she faked his death because he wanted to run away. She's also the mean girl in school.
Stand down, Vixens.
Okay, now I have to explain the Blossom family so you get it. The Blossoms are a very wealthy family in the maple syrup business, but is it maple syrup? Moving on. FP, that's me.
What are you looking at?
I'm Jughead's dad.
Figure it out, Dad.
I run a biker gang. I'm an alcoholic. I don't like my family. Of course I probably killed him. The show really wants you to believe that I, FP, am the killer. Don't trust the show. Never trust the show. FP is the leader of the Serpents, the Serpent King. So, what are the Serpents, you ask? The Serpents are a biker gang. They are on the wrong side of the tracks because Riverdale is divided north and south. They're on the south side, hence the South Side Serpents. They're your typical gang. They deal drugs. They beat the shit out of people. They'll f you up. Now, here's the twist. Jason was dealing drugs for the South Side Serpents. Jason was dealing drugs to make enough money to take care of his soon-to-be-born baby that he's having with Betty's sister, Polly. The real reason Jason ran away was because of Polly. Polly and Jason were engaged secretly so that the Blossoms didn't find out because they didn't like Polly. Polly was pregnant with twins, so they were gonna leave. Are you with me so far? Okay, here are the things we don't have time for. Archie's music career. Also, Archie was dating his music teacher, Mrs. Grundy. And then there's Dark Betty. Oh, and Betty and Veronica joining the cheerleading team and the whole Josie and the Pussycats plotline. And Fred Andrews and FP's construction company hijinks. Also, Archie attending a maple tapping ceremony for some reason. Oh, also, Betty's dad is a Blossom, so Polly and Jason dating was pretty incestual. Welcome to Riverdale. So FP confesses. He says he took Jason for ransom, and then he has to kill him.
And that's when you shot him and stuffed him in the freezer.
When we were doing the table read, I was pretty sure that I was the killer. Yeah, this is a big point in playing FP is to create the bad guy so that redemption is much sweeter later on. But that's just a red herring. And now another twist. Jason's dad is the killer. Our core 4, our heroes, find a USB drive with footage of Clifford killing his son. It turns out Clifford was just blackmailing FP so that he would fall for the crime. So FP has to protect Jughead. If he does not take the rap for the murder, Clifford Blossom will kill Jughead. Spoiler alert. Inside the maple syrup barrels, drugs, drugs, drugs. And the big cliffhanger for the end of Season 1, Jughead becomes a serpent and Fred Andrews takes a bullet. Okay, all right, Season 2, which was even longer. The big overarching mystery for Season 2. Who is the serial killer, the Black Hood? So the Black Hood's modus operandi is to kill sinners.
And we've all done our fair share of sinning.
Who did drugs? Who had an affair? This brings up a lot in Riverdale. Okay, here we go again. Season 2, who's hooking up with who? Here are the love triangles. Archie and Veronica break up. Jughead and Betty break up. Jughead and a new character, Tony, they kiss. Archie and Betty kiss. What? And then everyone gets back together. Okay, that's out of the way. Who is suspicious this season? Who could the Black Hood be? I'm in jail, so it ain't me. Okay, so there's another gang in Riverdale, the Ghoulies. They are the enemies of the Serpents.
You better get used to it.
They are the ones dealing drugs, and they have a new drug called Jingle Jangle.
Let's move to something with a little more kick.
is that?
Jingle Jangle? Why, yes, it is.
So Jingle Jangle is a cookie that comes out around Christmas in Los Angeles at a grocery store called Trader Joe's, and our writers got addicted to them. So our drug is called Jingle Jangle.
I, in fact, wouldn't mind a little sugar to spice up this party.
That's my theory anyway. So what is Jingle Jangle? It looks like a pixie stick, but it's kind of like meth. Wait, this all comes back to the Black Hood. Because he's killing sinners, if you're doing Jingle Jangle, you're in trouble. Season 2 introduces Hiram Lodge, who is probably the most suspicious character Riverdale has ever seen.
Yes.
He's a mob boss. He's also Veronica's dad. Hiram starts buying up property in Riverdale, but what for? And as it turns out, twist, Hiram is behind the Jingle Jangle. Meanwhile, FP is exonerated and gets released from jail. And he is mad.
So bring the fire!
FP says he will never retire from the Serpents. Also, we introduce Chick.
Charles,
It's Chick.
We think he's Alice and FP's son, but it turns out he's an imposter. He's a drug dealer, a webcammer. Okay, here are the things we're not going to talk about. Archie starts a vigilante group called the Red Circle to keep Riverdale safe. Everyone is running for student government. Archie and Hiram start working together. Betty becomes dark again. Cheryl gets sent to gay conversion therapy at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. We'll get back to them later. They suspect the school janitor of being the Black Hood. Andy Cohen shows up to endorse Veronica's mom for mayor, and a gangster named Papa Poutine also shows up.
He owns a chain of hot dog restaurants in Quebec, which is why you never heard of him.
Cheryl joins the Serpents. Betty strip tease to Mad World. I'm not talking about that. There's a musical episode of Carrie where the lead is killed by the Black Hood. How is it all connected? Betty's dad, Hal Cooper, is the Black Hood.
You're the Black Hood. That's right.
Season 2 cliffhanger.
F.P. Jones isn't retiring.
FP lied. He retires from the Serpents and hands it over to Jughead. And Archie is framed for murder.
What?
Stretch. All right, season 3. The big mystery is, who is the Gargoyle King? And what is a gargoyle?
run.
Again, people are dying in Riverdale. This time, it's by a blue poison, a kind of cyanide liquid. Everyone gets hooked on a game called Griffins and Gargoyles. Griffins and Gargoyles is kind of like D&D. It goes back to the kids' parents playing it in high school, including FP. Cole had to play me in the flashback episode, and he had a lot of questions for me, none of which I would answer. He tried to be as cool as I was in the 90s. He couldn't do it.
This is a role-playing game.
Oh well. Okay, back to the love triangle, season 3. Who's hooking up? Veronica and Archie break up after Archie is in juvie and then breaks out. Veronica gets together with Reggie. Archie gets together with Josie. Jughead and Betty stay together. Archie and Veronica get back together. Back to the mystery. So who is the Gargoyle King? Jughead thinks it's Hiram. Hiram is eliminating people who challenge him in Riverdale. Hiram takes over the whole town, poisons the water supply with a drug called Fizzle Rocks.
You're allowing them to put these dangerous chemicals into their body.
Okay, I need to explain this. Do not confuse Fizzle Rocks with Jingle Jangle, a sentence I never thought I'd say in my life. Fizzle Rocks is making people hallucinate. They think Griffins and Gargoyles is a real game, that it's real life, and they start killing themselves. So the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, a convent, is testing the drug on patients.
My savior.
Who's behind that? Hiram is using these drugs as mind control. And here's a twist. FP becomes sheriff. Who would have thought?
I figured as much.
Okay, so who else is suspicious? There's also a cult called The Farm, and Chad Michael Murray is the leader. A lot of people from the town join the cult. Oh, by the way, The Farm is harvesting organs. The things we're not gonna talk about. You ready? Archie is forced into an underground boxing ring in prison. The cheerleaders do a jailhouse rock show for the prisoners. Archie and Jughead run away to a deserted old drug town. Archie gets mauled by a bear, survives, and dyes his hair. Veronica opens a non-alcoholic speakeasy called La Bonne Nuit underneath Pops. There are more new gangs, the Gargoyles and the Pretty Poisons. Everyone has seizures because of Fizzle Rocks. Moose's dad dresses as the Gargoyle King to scare his son straight. Cheryl thinks Jason came back, but really the farm was harvesting his organs. Kelly Ripa is a water inspector. Cheryl waterboards her mother with maple syrup. Tall Boy, a serpent, also poses as the Gargoyle King. Betty burns her house down. And there's another musical episode. It's Heather's. And they all took the SATs. Wow. All that happened. Twist. Chick is the Gargoyle King. So Hal never actually killed Chick. Chick became Hal's apprentice. And who's behind it all? Penelope Blossom. She's the one pulling the strings. Also, Penelope was behind all of the Black Hood's doings in Season 2. The big cliffhanger for Season 3 is spring break senior year. They're all covered in blood. That's the best I can do explaining Riverdale. Thank you for watching.